is the future of conventions. Who needs, physical contact when you can just add 100 people on one screen? Like,
I know, right?
The same thing.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Oh my God. So how does it work, you guys? Are you gonna how do you want to do it?
So, like, I'm just setting up. Oh, okay, now we're live. Okay, we're live now on YouTube. So
we're live.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna send the link. Okay. So we ask like people to ask questions and stuff. And and people don't know that Spencer is gonna be like on the live, so
surprise.
Wait, you should put like a black curtain and just like,
You know what I just found, which is so funny, because I'm in my like childhood bedroom.
Oh,
the crown from Rain.
Oh,
the broken crown.
Oh, we need to make that a reveal.
Okay.
Oh, my heart. That's amazing.
Yeah, found that. So yeah.
Oh yeah, that needs to come out in an extraordinarily glorious way.
Yes.
Let's figure out. So guys, we got to reveal that Spencer's a guest, right? So we got to like do like a surprise. Yeah. Yes. You just tell us when.
Okay.
Hide him. I know nothing. I'm a blank slate.
Actually, we are going live now.
I'm loving the hair though. Your hair game is strong, Fancy.
Oh, my bad head game. Thank you.
Super strong.
Cheers. You as well, as always.
I actually put, I was like, I got to dress up today because it is Saturday, this is nice.
I know. Yeah, I should have gotten a bit nicer. just been so used to like wearing sweat suits and shit every day. I mean that. Yeah.
Oh, I have pajama bottoms right now. Don't get me wrong. I mean.
Oh yeah. Just the top is love. Yeah.
Just like
Yeah. Working your angles.
Working it. Aw. Jammy power. You guys, I don't know if you guys know, but Spencer and I are both Geminis. So
yeah, fun thing we learned while we were shooting. Yeah.
Jammy power.
Jammy power. Do you know a lot of Geminis?
It's weird. I actually have a Gemini posse right now in my life. I'm not even joking. Two of my closest friends are Geminis. I keep meeting more. They're like multiplying. We're multiplying. So strangely enough, in the last year, yes, I have a lot of Geminis around me right now.
When were you born?
So my friend Mariah is on the 31st. I'm the 25th. My friend Melissa is the 27th. And then my publicist Amira is June 4th. So Spency's birthday comes right after, right? When's your birthday, Spence? The 8th?
I'm June 12th.
12th.
Yeah.
I was so close. I was like,
Yeah.
We're lining them up and swinging it up. What about you guys? When's your birthday, Maria? When's your birthday?
I'm May 28th.
Stop. No. Actually?
Yeah.
Oh, this is so cool. Okay. Aurelia, if your birthday's in May, you are literally making my day right now.
Sorry, it's February 14th.
Aquarius.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Even cooler.
Yeah.
You know what? This is why we get along. This is an airtight meeting right now because we're all air signs here. We're going to get along just fine. It's going to be great.
Perfect.
You know what, Aurelia? My dad and my brother are born February 7th, both on the same day.
My brother is born on February 14th, but not the same year. So.
Wow.
Man, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh, your mom must have been like, okay, and we are ready. Let's
Exactly.
go. remarkable. So what's the gap? What's the year difference?
4 years.
4 years. Wow.
Yeah.
And are you older or younger?
No, he's younger than me. He's older than me, sorry. Yeah, he's older.
I was gonna say trailblazer. He's the trailblazer, and you're like, yep, been there, done that.
No, I was supposed to be born on my half sister birthday, but I guess I chose my brother. Oops, sorry.
No, I love it. It's a great month, you know. So at least you didn't have your birthday in isolation, right? You actually had a birthday this year.
That's true. I did. That's true. Like I have friends who like their birthday is like next week, and I'm like, oh, sorry for you.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
gotta get on
celebrate
Zoom
after. Exactly.
Tomorrow.
You know what I have to say? What I love is obviously we all have to adjust to a new normal, you know? And so the last week, one of my boyfriend's best friends had a birthday, and they all got together, and it was a similar situation like this, but I don't think it was Zoom. I think it was like FaceTime or something, because apparently you can have up to like 6 or 8 people or whatever on FaceTime. They all got together and had their little drinks, and they had a ball. Like they had a total party for him. It was so much fun. And I was like, now we're just finding new creative ways to hang out, you know, like this is, you know, we always knew the digital world was going to take over. It's just now happening. We're living it, you know?
Yeah, we don't have a choice anymore.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So who's to say you can't have a party, you know? You just,
exactly.
it's all in your head. Just like the madness.
Oh, sorry. I was just chatting with my my mom the other day about the idea of like a snow day is probably in the past. Like you know, like thinking about like when you were a kid and like, oh wow, like apparently it's gonna be really snowy on Wednesday. Like maybe we'll get a snow day. Like you know, now it's like, well, no, you just go on school digitally. Like the idea of a snow day might be gone. Something like one day we'll be like, yeah, we were kids. There was snow days, and like that's just like might not be a thing anymore. That's pretty trippy.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
I am so over the snow though, you guys. Like, I don't know about you, but I found myself the other day. I was like, you know, it would be great if it was like summer. We have a balcony over here. I was like, if it was summer, it would be awesome, because then at least you could like sit on the balcony and like have a party or something. But then my boyfriend goes, no, I think that would be worse, because you'd want to go to like the beach or something, or you'd want to do things, right? And I was like, yeah.
Right.
Yes, you're right. Yes, we'll just leave it at that. It's better that it's not summer yet.
Yeah.
And hopefully by then we'll all be in a good place.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Is it cold now in Toronto?
It's getting a bit better. It's getting a little bit better.
Yeah, you caught us on a good day.
Yeah. The weekend was pretty nice. There was one day.
Are you in Toronto too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought you were in LA.
I was there for a bit for pilot season, but of course when all this started happening, we had to all head home, and yeah,
I get that. You totally want to be home. That was my first sentiment too. Like just be close to family, you know, nothing complicated. You gave it away when you said I'm in my childhood bedroom. I was like, oh,
right. Well, I just figured it, like the Harry Potter poster might get revealed at some point, you know. All my obsessions. got Spider-Man over there.
Oh, I gotta see that. What was that? I totally missed that last one.
Oh, I got Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Which one was your favorite growing up? Did you have a favorite Avenger? I'm learning a lot about the Avengers and things like that.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, for me, like I was big into superheroes as a kid. I liked like the Spider-Man movies, like the Sam Raimi ones. And then but like when I was in high school was when all those like Marvel movies with like Avengers started happening. So I was like hyped about that. And yeah.
Oh, I feel like you're still a baby though.
Oh yeah.
He's like, when I was in high school, like 2 years ago.
Sure.
Oh man, it was so funny. I remember when I first met Spency. Spency's such an old soul. Like you are such a like mature, like, you know, powerful personality on set. And then he was like, oh yeah. I was like, I think you were like 19 when I first met you.
Yeah.
Man,
I was the youngest one on that set.
Yeah, I was like, what? What?
Yeah,
This is just not right. I was like, I am a total cougar going on here. Remember Fred Gerber was the most hilarious one to talk to about that.
What about? Sorry.
Oh no!
What did Fred Gerber say again?
I think he directed. Did he direct the first episode that we did? That you and
I
did?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and there was an epic scene that got cut.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. We
that was
actually
funny.
had a really fun Nicole and Henry scene. Charles scene. Oh my God. I don't even know if this is appropriate to talk about. I don't even know if it's appropriate
you know what? Like the scene part stayed, but I forget which episode it is, because it's once you come to French Court, and the scene kind of just starts with us like in bed, like having a chat, but like there was a whole like part in the beginning that was cut, and it was pretty funny to film.
Yeah, this very elaborate golden bed frame in his bedroom, and there was this whole dance that we were doing together, and it was all choreographed. Yeah,
it was actually a cool shot. Like it was like moving through like the bed frame, and like as we were like, it's good.
Yeah, getting to know each other. But it was actually one of the first scenes that we ever got to shoot, and that was when I realized that Spencer was 19 and I was not, and yeah, I was like, okay, nice to meet you. Okay, let's do this, and we're in bed. So, and Fred was like so cool about it. He's like, oh my God, that was the best part. I can't believe they cut that scene. There was a whole dialogue about whether it's appropriate or not, because you know,
pretty young. Yeah. No,
the girls are probably like, what the hell are you guys talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about, but I think you can understand what kind of scene we're talking about.
Yeah.
Great. But it was so fun. It was honestly so much fun. I remember being upset that it got cut because it was so beautifully shot,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was. That was like I think that was the first kind of. I've done one scene since then, like that. That was the first kind of like scene I did like that. It was fun. It was it was good.
Absolutely. It was a lot of fun. We just did it from 30 different angles, and then it got totally cut, which was hilarious. Yeah. But it was most certainly a way to introduce our characters, but me to Spencer. I was like, hi, nice to meet you. Okay, this is so cool. I love your work. And but he was like so into it. He's like, okay, so where do I stand? And what do I do? And what is my face doing at this point?
Right. Yeah. That's the ultimate question, right? Like what kind of face do you make in that situation? There's so many choices. It's overwhelming.
It honestly was. It was like, because the camera is doing something and it's like at different points, like you're supposed to make different faces, right? And so you just want to make sure it doesn't, it adds to the story and not take away from it. How are you guys?
So we've actually started the YouTube live.
Oh, great.
So we're seeing the comments live, and people have some questions for you.
Amazing.
So one of the questions is, what was your funniest experience on set?
Funniest experience on set? That one. No, I'm kidding.
That one was pretty funny.
That was pretty funny.
That was up there.
Funniest experience. This is so hard right now because I feel like we laugh so hard any day.
Yeah.
A lot. But funniest experience on set. Well, I don't know if it's the funniest, but I remember when I was shooting, it was episode 13 and Megan was directing. And it was like the week before we were shooting the big scene where basically Narcisse breaks Nicole's heart, and he makes fun of her. You know, she gives him the little locket and everything and says, I love you. And then he completely like destroys her, and she gets to watch from behind the screen. And I remember talking to Megan about that, and she was like, oh, wait, you have no idea what's coming your way next week. And I was like, what do you mean? What happens? And she's like, well, there's going to be several parts to it. There's a screen involved, but basically you're going to be completely shattered and you're just crying the entire time. And I was like, awesome. I literally went like, oh, this is so great. Like, only as an actor do you ever stop and go, what? My heart gets broken and all these messed up things happen in one episode? Great. I'm so excited. Bring it on.
Absolutely.
That was a personal laugh.
I had quite a funny time shooting. What was it? It was I do a fair bit of like horse riding in the first in this season 3, and I was just like horrible at horse riding, and so I would get there and I would try so hard, but I'm just not good at horse riding. So the guy had a really awesome double, and he would do a lot of that for me. But I remember just feeling like very like, oh my god, like I better get my lines right every time and like get it perfect every time, because there's only gonna be one or two where the horse actually listens to me. So yeah.
Oh, and that's so cool. I'm actually curious, what about the squirrel eating scene?
Right.
How was that?
Really fun. I really enjoyed all that stuff. I like that. What was it? Yeah. It was really cold. I remember shooting a lot of those. Oh! I just remembered there was I had I had a bow and arrow, and I had to light an arrow and like shoot it when I was working with Johnny's character and stuff, and that was really challenging, because like there was people on the set being like, okay, like don't, you know, when you're working with fire, like they don't want everyone to get like anyone to get injured or anything, so there's a lot of like panic and a lot of stress. I was like, jeez. So unqualified to be firing this fire laden arrow right now.
Absolutely. And they're so good about, like, you know, you obviously had a bit of training too, right? Before they made you fire the thing. Because I remember, yeah, they were so good on that set to make sure that you felt prepared. But then when you're actually doing it, right? It's like,
yeah. I knew that I'd done it enough and I could do it. It was just a matter of like, in the moment, I was like, don't mess this up. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a bit of an archery scene too. I don't even remember what episode that was.
Yes, we did.
And you were actually quite good at it, from what I remember. Like, you got it. Like,
by the fourth, by season 4, I was actually pretty good at archery, and even now I am. But like, you know, it's like anything. It's like you just, after a while you start to learn it. But yeah.
I was like, wow. I thank God I don't have to aim at anything. I just have to sit there and look pretty. And but like, boom, like one after the other. I was like, don't mess with Spencer, man. Don't do it, Henry. Don't go there, Nick.
Yep.
People are asking if you know some words of like sentence in French.
Bonjour. Comment t'appelles-tu?
Wow.
Right? Thank you.
Yeah.
Merci. What else? Very random things. Spence, help me. Spencer, go.
Oh boy. We should know this more. We took French.
You did study French?
Pardon me?
Yeah, you studied French.
Yeah, so in Canada, we learn French in school, and yeah, I guess we take it until grade 9, and you can like choose to continue taking it and stuff. Yeah, you learn. That's like our So we should know this.
Well, do you know what's funny? So I was actually born in Romania, and I speak Romanian, and I understand pretty much any Latin-based language, like, Spanish. I understand some Italian, but in Romania, our second official language as well is French. And yet I still don't know it. So I should also know it, and I still don't know it. So I actually understand it when I hear, anyone speaking. I understand it a lot better than I can speak it back. But, I'm adventurous. I could try. You just don't want to hear me butchering it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, I have another question. Could you guys describe Adelaide Kane, Craig Parker, and Megan by using one word only? So it would be like one word for each person, like one word to describe Adelaide.
Well, Queen was the first one that came to mind, but that's just no fun. That's too easy.
For Addie, I would say quick. She's very quick-witted, very very, very smart. Yeah, very just a very, very quick mind when you're chatting with her.
Totally extraordinary, probably just like good at absolutely anything, like, and very kind. It's so awesome. Who else? Sorry, who else? So Addie, Craig. Oh God.
Craig, I would say bold. He's got he's very extremely himself, very
charismatic.
Very charismatic, yeah. And Megan.
Yeah.
She's hard.
Sharp.
That's a good one.
Oh man, and almost like meticulous. I love how particular and meticulous she is. Nothing gets by Megan, like, ever. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So people ask if you get anything from set.
Well, this sound right here. We had this scene where we're at like a dinner, and Henry's broken my nose, and I like attack him, and at the end of the scene I like jumped on top of him to attack him, and we'd done it a bunch of times, and at one point the crown fell off and it broke, so they let me keep it.
Oh, it's broken now?
Yeah, it broke on a bunch of sides because it fell off, but yeah.
Oh, that is so badass. I love it.
Yeah,
Yours is so much cooler than mine. I had a pair of earrings.
Bling.
I don't even, they were from, I think one of the first, from that episode, I think, from the episode where she first comes to court. But like, yeah, I don't have them here. Man, that is so cool. How can you beat like a broken melty crown? Like, that's fantastic.
I know. It's great. It was great. They couldn't have kept using it, so I was like, please, let me take it. Yeah.
To be honest, that was like actually one of my favorite scenes, I think.
That was a fun one.
You were on fire for that. That was so much fun to do.
It was fun. It was a good one.
Yeah.
And that was right around when Nick entered the store, and he was great too. So we had a lot of fun.
Totally. That episode was fantastic. And then you guys were playing tennis.
Right. Yeah. That was not. Yeah, we had to learn how to do the tennis. He was very good. Very athletic, strong Aussie. And then I was just like, I've never lifted a tennis racket in my life. Yeah.
It was so much fun. And then that ball that he gets to throw at you was actually really heavy. Like,
oh yeah,
I don't know. We practiced a few times because he gets hit in the nose, and then, but it's, obviously not the same ball that drops. But you were like, ugh, it was very realistic. Like you have a second nature when working with blood for sure.
Yeah.
It was a lot too. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, it must have been a really, really hard hit. Yeah. I was bleeding a lot.
That was a lot of fun.
Okay, so someone's asking, what are you most excited for at the convention, and will it be your first convention?
Wow, what are we most excited for at the convention? When it comes back in the fall.
Yeah.
I'm honestly super pumped to meet you guys. I am so pumped to meet you. And I'm pumped to meet Rain fans because I've never actually had a chance to face-to-face meet everyone. And I have so many incredible relationships that over the past 2 years, I've formed with a lot of the fans that, it'll truly be, it will be my first convention. So that's very exciting. My first time in Paris, super pumped. So I actually would love ideas. Initially, if it was going to happen this weekend, I mean, truthfully, we wouldn't have had as much time for me to, with the way that the schedule laid out, to spend a bit of time in France and to check out Paris the way I would want to check out Paris. So now that we're, doing it again in the fall, I'm actually really looking forward to spending some time and checking some sites, and I'll need recommendations. Seriously.
Oh,
she has a list, so she can give you her list.
So I'll just send it to you.
That's awesome. I so appreciate that. Spency, it's not your first time in Paris, right?
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say anything yet. Am I? I don't know.
You are.
I am. Okay. So I haven't been announced, but I was also going to be at the convention, which I'm really looking forward to, and am still looking really forward to. I went to Paris. Gosh, I must have been about like 12 when I went to Paris. So I don't think I fully got to experience the full Paris kind of experience, but I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, I'd love to see that list. I'd love to check it out. I know my girlfriend really wants to come with, so she's gonna come along, and yeah, I think we'll stay like an extra week and we'll check it out.
Totally.
Nice.
Yeah.
I am a crazy tourist. I love taking photos of everything, so it's going to be fun. Watch out, Paris.
You're going to come home with like 100 pictures of like the Eiffel Tower and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I take pictures of food. I take pictures of all kinds of things.
There's that obligatory tourist photo where the person's like holding the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe we get that. Maybe we don't know.
Oh, I love it. But honestly, though, I hear the food in France is phenomenal. Not only just historical things to see and like experience, but like I actually love. I'm a bit of a foodie too. I love going around and wine. Oh, you cannot go wrong. Big red wine fan. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be so great.
Don't worry, I have a list for food as well.
Maria, my favorite. This is going to be great.
Someone is asking, how was your first day? Oh, sorry. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, because like people don't know the new date yet. We're going to announce it tonight. So the new date is going to be November 14. So yeah.
Fantastic. Is that a Saturday still?
Yeah, it is.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
Looking forward to it, guys.
That'll be great.
So someone is asking, how was your first day on set?
Oh, Spence, you take this one.
Well, first day on set was, I had a scene with Toby, and it was archery actually. It was really good. I was very, very nervous. I'd been on a show before Rain called Degrassi, and that was kind of my only real experience on like a big set. And but this was bigger, and it was just I was just very like, I didn't want to mess up. I really wanted to, you know, I keep really quiet and not, you know, ruffle any feathers. But Toby was very he's a great actor, and he was really welcoming, and, you know, reassured me, you're doing good, and yeah, I remember being very timid and very like, what's up, like, you know. And he's a real Brit too, so like I was like, I hope the accent isn't like terrible, you know, like not, hopefully it's not insulting.
Oh, this is interesting. So had you done a British accent before this? Were you practicing your British accent before, or?
I had done I played Oliver in a musical when I was younger, and I had to do a British accent for that, and so I kind of had it a bit in my back pocket for the audition, but yeah, it totally different kind of accent, and also a bit more like on the line when you're potentially like being like immortalized in a scene, like in a show, like there's more people to be like, that was bad.
Yeah.
Whereas in a play, it's like, like, you know, maybe, you know.
Oh, I totally do, because I was petrified. So like my first day on set, I had to seduce Craig Parker, and of course that's just what, you know, totally not scary at all. But I did have it. I had a British accent in my back pocket. I had a week before actually getting cast. From getting cast to being on set and shooting my very first episode, I had a week in between that process. So like technically I had no time to work on my British accent. I seduced Craig. I think it went well. And then
it did. It was great.
And then I remember 5 episodes down the line when Nick's character comes into play, because, you know, he was Australian, whatever, and they were talking to him about, hey, so we have an on-set dialogue coach that, you know, Nick, if you want to take advantage of, everyone can take advantage of. And I remember thinking, this is like 5 episodes in for me, and I was like, wait, what? We have a dialect coach? Like, nobody told me this.
Oh, you didn't?
Hold on a second.
Really?
I swear to God.
I remember from the get-go. Yeah, Ray Ellen was her name.
Yeah.
She was amazing, because it's very specific, like royal British, and it's like, you know what I mean. There's like a lot of like. Sometimes I would be doing to RP, exactly. Sometimes I would be doing to like London, to like whatever, and then she'd try and get me back in that. Wow. So it was a couple episodes in for you when you started working with Ray Ellen, huh?
Oh my God, I was so upset. I was like, really? I could have done this from the beginning. Obviously, it wasn't as terrible as I thought, because, you know, like I would work on it. I definitely worked on it really hard. But to have, you know, somebody to actually support with each episode was amazing. So like the second half of the season for me was like a breeze, because I was like, oh, this is great. But it was just so funny, like talk about funny, where I was like, wait, what? We do? Like, nobody told me, guys.
you were so good that they were already like, hey, she doesn't need a dialect coach.
She's fine, don't worry about it. Oh man.
And there's a question for you, someone saying, I just remember that I saw you also in season 2. Have you been on set before you got the role of Nicole?
On set, so I actually, way back when it first started, I used to do a bit of background work and like, you know, extra stuff. So I think I did a day on Rain, and I was like a kitchen maid or something, like years before I actually did it. It was so much fun. But it wasn't anything like, you know, it wasn't like I had a speaking role and it got cut, you know, but it actually worked out hilarious in the story, because she does, you know, Nicole starts out as a farm girl. So theoretically speaking, she could have been working in the kitchen, you know, like in season 1. That's very possible or whatever, you know. So I was like, great, the story continues, right? But the sets, honestly though, when you do walk onto the set for the first time, like it's amazing. Like it is, I don't know. They're so beautiful. You know, I just remember like sometimes you just sit there and stare, right? Like the throne room, and like, you know, and by the time like I came into the picture in season 4, there were 3 different courts, right? So then like there were 3 different studios, obviously, where you'd have like, you know, the British court was on one end. We were at the French court a lot, so that was really fun. And then Scotland, obviously, right? So each one just was incredibly well done and absolutely beautiful. And it just like, I would just wander around on when I had time off. Like I would just wander around from like set to set. I wish I had more time in the British court. Like, man, it was beautiful there.
Mhm.
Great. But yeah, we would never shoot at the same time in a sense, right? So.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you get to spend time at any other court, Spence? Did you shoot like at the Scottish court at all?
I don't know. Charles never left
France
French court. I mean, he left the court to be in the woods, but yeah, I know he was always in France.
And on the farm, baby.
And on the farm, yeah.
We didn't spend much time on the farm though. I was like, man, like literally one episode and then boom, straight to court.
Yeah. This is nice. Let's roll out.
Yeah. Nobody likes to be in the woods for too long, right? Interesting things happen when you spend too much time in the woods. Oh, we need to make memes.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Somebody more technologically savvy than me, get on that, because you are spectacular with those squirrels.
So someone asked, how do you prepare for a role?
Take it away, Anne.
For me, what do I do? Well, I like to read absolutely everything I can about a character, you know, so I do so much research before I even read the scenes themselves. And if there's a show, for example, depends on what it is, right? If it's a film or a TV show. But basically, I break everything up. I'm a nerd, guys. I'm a massive nerd. I love breaking a script apart for a good day or two if I have time. And then the second part of it is emotionally connecting to what's happening in the scene. So that's where you bring yourself into it. And then you just like do all these like fun exercises where you just get out of your, you know, I dance around a lot. I get out of my head and into my body. And then somehow it works out. You put it all together at the end, you know, but it's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of work and a lot of research. And it's actually my favorite part. You know, what do you do, Spency? You just people watch? Are you very method?
No, well, you know what? I like to do different for every single thing, if I'm being honest. Like, you know, there's certain ones that are closer to you and require different things, and other ones where it's like I don't know. It's more like I just did this role and I wanted to just try something new, so I really like tried to like walk around as the character a little bit and do that. But there's been other things where it's been a lot more like, you know, working on the script analysis and stuff like that. And I don't know, I like to mix it up because I feel like I'm still learning, and that's the great thing about this job. Everyone can kind of do it their own way, and it's exciting to experiment. That's my favorite part, I think, just like experiment and be like, wow, I didn't know I could do that. Huh. Or you know, I like that part of it a lot.
Absolutely. You know, it's funny, like I auditioned for, have you heard about this show that they're shooting here? So they're shooting a show similar to Hannibal called, if you guys have seen a movie, Silence of the Lambs, it's basically the continuation of Clarice Sterling's story. It's going to be called Clarice, and they're shooting it here. Oh, wow. And I auditioned for Clarice, you know, a couple weeks ago before the world fell apart, you know, and I remember like talk about like, yes, you're so right. Like some roles are just like closer to home than others. So you don't really have to do too much for other things. You got to try different things. But for me, what was specifically intimidating was auditioning for a character that's like such a legendary, you know, movie legend. And I was like, I watched the movie several times. You have to do the accent, right? Like
Jodie Foster.
Foster. Like, how do you I don't know. It was so intimidating, and I did try a bunch of really cool things, and it worked out really great in the end. But depending on the character, right? And the subject matter, which some is a lot more complicated and disturbing than others, you know, this was definitely, you know, an incredible challenge that definitely stretches you as an artist, as an actor in so many different ways, right? But it's intimidating. Like, have you ever played a real person, Spence? Besides, you know,
I have.
King Charles, obviously.
I played a real guy in a movie called Brotherhood. That was fun.
Right.
Yeah. What about you? What other have you played any other real characters?
That's the thing. Like, I don't think I've never had to be, besides, you know, this was my first brush with, like, here's a real person that is alive today, and you can, you know, you basically get to play with. But no, it's just so intimidating in a sense to me, right? And you have to make it your own.
Well, that's the thing, right? You want to make it your own.
You have to make it your own.
Yeah, you know, it has to serve the story that they're trying to tell, and as much as it is history, it's also like a bit of historical fiction, and you kind of want to embellish the things that the script wants the character to be, and there's a lot of gray area in there, which is just fun, because it's at the end of the day, it's you know, it's your version of King Charles or whatever, and it's
100%. I remember I auditioned one time for a movie about Victoria Gotti's life. And Victoria Gotti is the daughter of John Gotti, who's a notorious mafia boss, right? And she was also the writer of the film. And I was like, oh my God, like, double intimidating. Not only do you have to, like, right, you know, do research on someone's life, but she actually wrote about it. So it's like, oh, by the way, here's my interpretation of you. But isn't that the most amazing thing about what we do? Because, like, at the end of the day, if you just remove that pressure, you know, about it being a real person from it, and you're just focusing on the work and serving the story, like Spencer was saying, it just becomes like, there's this cool thing that happens. I don't want to get too nerdy on you guys, but, like, you transcend the role. Like, you just become something different. It's so cool.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was scary. Like, it was scary. And you want to do that. I was almost like, I have to do this because I'm petrified.
Yeah.
And I almost got it. I almost got that role too. I was like, oh my God, I was the final two. And I was like, oh, what would this actually mean if I get this? Like, you know, it was very exciting, but also like, oh God.
Yeah. Yeah. Healthy, a little bit of nerves, huh?
Yeah. Fuel. That's what I like to think about it. You know, whenever I'm scared of something, like, I have to do it.
Right. I agree.
Well, there is actually an interesting question. It's what historical character would you like to play on a movie or on a TV show?
Oh, I can tell you that right now. Cleopatra.
Great choice.
Oh, I would die to play Cleopatra. I don't know. I've had an obsession with her since I was a kid. And, you know, Elizabeth Taylor, I think that's why, because I was just obsessed with her interpretation of it. So just, if I could do that. And I think that they were doing, like, I heard there was rumblings of, I don't know anymore now, but, you know, a movie in the works. A movie in the works about Cleopatra's life. So that would be amazing.
That'd be great. I don't, so historical figure, so it has to be like, that's a tough question. I don't know. I couldn't.
Feel like you've got to be like some musical genius, like a James Dean or like a.
Sure, I'd love that. Yeah.
Not James Dean. Who am I thinking of? But James
Mozart.
Dean. Yes. Yeah.
Sure, I'll do that. That'd be fun.
Someone asked, what do you enjoy the most as an actor?
Enjoy the most? This might sound strange, but variety. I actually love the fact that we sometimes don't spend too much time in one place. And we get to learn so many different things, playing so many different characters, you know, like I remember falling in love with acting when I was 12 years old. Like, I knew I was going to be a professional actor. like, that's just what I was going to do. And so my family came to Canada and I realized it was actually a real possibility. But even before then, I grew up on stage, you know, and I remember thinking, like, you know, when people ask you, like, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I'd be like, I want to do it all. I'm like, why do I have to choose? I can be a doctor one day. I can be a scientist another. I can be, you know, a vampire tomorrow. I don't have to choose. I just prefer to learn about different walks of life and different experiences in life, you know, and sort of exploring it that way. And the fact that I don't have to choose, as a Gemini, you probably relate to this, Ben. The fact that we don't have to choose is actually a bonus.
Oh, yeah.
Maria, you relate to this.
Yeah.
Aurelia's like, no, you have to pick. It's like, it's got to be specific because Aquarians like it a very certain way. But the rest of us, we like variety, man. Like, you know. What do you think, Spence?
Yeah, you know, I agree with that. Yeah, as a Gemini, as people, I like to just like mess around and be a character, do a voice all the time. I don't know. I think I like my favorite part of acting. I love like reading a good script and like I just love watching other people. To be honest. I love watching other like movies and TV shows and watching other actors and you know, seeing how they do it and maybe stealing some things from them and yeah.
I love that.
I love watching.
And being inspired, like when you actually start talking about different characters and story with someone that's used to talking story and characters, like there's this like vortex that sucks you in and you just like, before you know it, you know, 3-4 hours go by and you're like, oh, yeah. We've just been talking about, it's the flow of ideas, right?
Right.
That's really cool.
Yeah, the stream of consciousness. It's good.
Stream of consciousness, totally. And getting to learn about people. I always was fascinated about, you know, why people do what they do. I would always ask a million questions, you know, like, and I think that being able to do that and have it be okay, it's like, it's research, right? I'm not nosy. What are you talking about? I just need to know for the character. but it's so fun to like, yeah, I also, you know, enjoy the philosophy part of it where we talk about existence, talk about consciousness and human beings in general and why people do what they do. You know, and I've sort of turned that into an educational tool as well. I have a program called Soul Sunday, and we talk about, you know, emotional intelligence every Sunday.
That's awesome.
How to handle your emotions and people and whatnot, you know. So for me, it's also like, I always think of acting as something that's taught me about life. It's the art form of life, the ultimate art form of life, you know.
Right.
In so many ways.
Yeah.
We get to think about things that most people don't think about on a daily basis, right? And we get to do it for a living, which is such a luxury in so many ways. Yeah.
Yeah, you get to be like an erotic person for a job. It's awesome.
It's so great. But not only that, but you learn, you know, you actually get to do it. Like we were saying, like Spencer got to learn archery. You know, I got to learn what was really fun that also kind of got cut was the dancing. Like we had this whole elaborate dance sequence, remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
that was so much fun to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we learned like this amazing, like, you know, choreographed dance. And I've danced before, various different types of dance, but it's just so cool. What other job, you know, do you get to like learn, you know?
Yeah, we're gonna do some dancing.
I also learned how to do like a stunt choking sequence. Where like, you know, at the end, like, cause you know, Nicole passes away from a peanut allergy / witchy threesome. And we actually had to like, of course, we actually had to practice, you know, like the actual, like, you know, how do you gradually choke to death
Right.
So I don't know about you, but like I actually didn't know anything about any of that. So it was amazing to learn. Talk about what you get to learn as you go.
I had this chat on a set recently about like all the different ways you've died, right? And it's so funny to think about, like, geez, I've blown up, I've been shot, I've been poisoned, I've been like, you're thinking of, oh my gosh, like it's pretty dark job, like, and all the different times that you've had to be like the peanut allergy, like anything else, you know.
You were blown up? What were you blown up on? That's amazing.
I was blown up on Defiance, the show called Defiance. Yeah, and that was cool because it was all the visual effects usually, and then that's, you know, it's hilarious though, right? And everyone you talk to that does this job just has like the most bizarre story about a way that they've perished on camera.
Yeah.
So
I've also been pregnant a few times, you know, like, and
right. Yeah. Congratulations, by the way. I'm so sorry.
Thank you so much. It lives on in TV land, but no, it's so cool. That's so cool. Well, I've never been blown up, but that sounds amazing.
Well, I think that the way that they did that whole sequence was, I didn't know you had to learn that. I guess there's a lot to kind of learn about, like, you know, how to make it look like you're seizing up and everything,
and then falling to the ground, because there's mats and stuff like that, but you got to fall a certain way, right? And he has to catch you at a certain time, and then like, you know, the rest is just like, it was so cool. And we honestly didn't have a lot of time to shoot that anyway, so it was, you know, go.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's really hard to pretend choke. The other thing that was helping me was that I actually had a real allergic reaction to something.
Oh, no.
I still don't know what it was while we were shooting that. So I had hives, like, I don't know why. Talk about method, right? Like, it was all over my neck and up to my ears. But like, we had the makeup girls just like constantly covering it up because it wasn't supposed to look as bad, right? And then in the next scene, dead, like I'm supposed to be like dead, so redness would not be an option for that.
Right.
We kept like covering it up, and you know, but
yeah,
the stuff that we put ourselves through, you know, I honestly think that looking back on it, I'm like, I don't even know if that was a reaction or if it was just like extreme stress of, like, you know, we had a very limited. Do you remember that last episode, Spence? Like, that was madness.
Yeah, I was moving quick, huh? That was
We literally found out. It was amazing, but like, we literally found out that the show was not going to continue, like, as we were shooting the last 2 episodes, right? So we had 2 weeks in the last episode, and then they were like, there was like so many script changes and all that stuff that had to be accommodated, and the schedule kept shifting, and like, at least my schedule. And I was like, oh, okay. And then everybody was dying, you know what I mean? It was just like, oh man, I was an emotional wreck. I think everybody was just an emotional wreck that entire like last 2 weeks.
Right.
But look at the work that came out of it, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So realistic. Aww.
There's a question for Spencer. It's did you have any funny moments with Toby, and who is the funniest between you two?
Well, Toby's pretty funny. I'd say Toby was funnier. I don't know. I was so shy at the time too. So I wish I had some stories. I don't know. I think at the time I was so concentrated on just trying to like do justice to the role and kind of like be you know, just do good on my job. So but I remember admiring Toby a lot from what I'd watched of the show. He's a really good actor, and I saw him in Mr. Nobody. before that, and yeah, I thought it was really, really good. So I was just very excited to get to work with him, and yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
I love that.
Someone asked if you were an actor, what would you be?
Oh. Criminal law.
There you go. You knew that. You were prepared. I love that. Why do you say that?
Well, I mean, it's interesting because I wanted to be a lawyer for a very long time growing up, you know, and criminal law actually has always fascinated me. I was on the speech and debate team in high school. And it's to be fair, it's still putting a puzzle together, you know, and I always enjoyed the mental game of figuring out, you know, who did what the best argument for something is. That's sort of what we do as actors too, right? It's like you figure out what the best possible story and stakes that you can choose and then do it, you know? Yeah. And so criminal law was always fascinating because it was just, you know, the ultimate in figuring out life versus, you know,
right.
Guilt, sure. and who did what and how. And so I was always fascinated with it, and I almost did it. But then I realized, honestly, I have the utmost respect for any lawyer ever. But the thing that I couldn't do, you know, was choosing the bits of the truth, the parts of the truth from the law that are most effective to me in an argument. I'm very black and white as a human being, so I always want to do the right thing, right? And so having to choose different bits of what the right thing to do is to help your argument, whether you believe that or not as an individual, is an art form. Like it's a really, it's a skill set, man.
Advocate and doing all that, yeah. Kind of figure, even that it's interesting because it's like yeah, figuring out why someone would do something I also find that so interesting. You know, it's great to know that Colonel Mustard did it with the lead pipe in the conservatory, but why did he do it? You know, that's
exactly what drove him to it.
Right, Colonel Mustard.
Yeah, but then having to be like, okay, I know you did it, but now I'm going to defend you in a court of law. You know, like, I mean, I have so much respect for someone that can, like, you have to be very impartial and you have to know the law inside and out. And it's literally an art form to pick the right argument to help someone in the best possible way, you know? But for me, I would rather play a lawyer in a show or a movie or something than have to consistently do it for a living. I think it's a lot of work,
stressful,
you know, and it's very stressful. Yeah.
I would a comic book artist. I always loved drawing growing up, and I did a couple comic books myself, and I think I would love to do that, you know, try and work on my art and maybe like work for like DC or Marvel and try and like make comic books and stuff. That's a dream.
That is so cool.
There's actually a question that if you could play anyone in the Marvel series, who would it be?
Oh,
I would do because I would do probably Loki, like a young Loki.
Yeah,
that'd be a lot of fun, kind of Charles-esque.
I love it. I would do Groot.
Great choice.
I'm joking. I love Iron Man. I love that character. What a great character.
Amazing. Yeah.
And just so fun. Like, I feel like my sense of humor would totally lend itself well to that type of feel.
Yeah.
Iron Maiden. I'll be the Iron Maiden.
There's an idea. Let's get the Marvel guys on the phone.
Yeah. Oh man, that would be so great. But they have that Black Widow movie coming out soon, right? I think it was supposed to.
I can't wait for
November.
That. Yeah.
I am so pumped.
Yeah, it looks great. David Harbour looks awesome.
I wasn't going to say Black Widow, although I think it's going to be amazing. But yes, if they're looking for a new Black Widow, hi. I can kick ass. I swear to God.
So about that, someone's asking, are you team Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
I'm gonna be like Taika Waititi and say I don't need to choose.
There you go. You'll be the sweetest.
Absolutely. I'll split my time between the two and support the universes. But Spence, you want to do Marvel? That's great.
I would do Marvel. I'm a big Marvel fan, like Spider-Man. I like Marvel. I would choose Marvel. Yeah.
Don't tell Rach.
Oh, she. oh, right. Oh my gosh. Yes.
No, I'm sure she'll be very supportive.
Someone asked if you have any show recommendation to binge watch during this time.
Oh man. So I've been watching Tiger King on Netflix. Have you seen that, Spence?
I'm only on episode 3, but I've been watching.
Oh, it's something else. That's a study in human psychology if I have seen one.
Oh,
so
sure.
Definitely recommend that. Have you seen The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel?
I have not. No, I keep hearing it's amazing.
It's like it's a tour de force. You know, when you watch the first 2 seasons, it's like very fast paced, very smart writing, super phenomenal acting. You know, like it's great. I think you'd love it.
I really like Better Call Saul.
Yes.
I was a massive Breaking Bad fan, and I was very, very tentative to give Better Call Saul a chance, and it's amazing. And then I think the new season is just starting now, so I need to start watching that. But I love Better Call Saul. It's on Netflix too, so that's a good one.
That is a good one. I've been meaning to watch it for a while, but yeah.
It's different from Breaking Bad. It's very different, but it's good.
I was gonna say, I hear that, and I'm kind of nervous to start it because of that, because I do love Breaking Bad, like a lot.
Yeah.
But I hear great things. That's awesome. I'm adding it to.
There you go. I'll have to check out Marvelous Miss Maisel.
What about you guys? What are you watching, Maria? What are you guys seeing?
So right now I'm watching the last season of Money Heist.
Oh, how is that?
It's
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have ever watched Prison Break, it's kind of similar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's really intense and really good.
I like it. Is that on Netflix as well?
It is.
Yeah.
The last season came out yesterday.
Amazing.
This is such a great time. Oh, sorry. This is such a great time to be releasing things, isn't it? Like, thinking about that, like, wow, the entire world is just like craving something to,
content
to watch and think about. No, it's so true. And sometimes, like, I was actually really lucky to do a few episodes on a series that's on Netflix called Workin' Moms. And if you're looking for, isn't it fun?
Yeah.
Just the most ridiculous, inappropriate, well done comedy about motherhood, and you can watch, the season that I'm on is not yet on Netflix, but I think it's going to come out in the summer. But it's just so good. And it's like, it's bingeable for sure, because you'll probably be able to watch the first 2 seasons in a couple hours. It's only 25-minute episodes, because it's comedy and it's half hour, but it's so smart. It's so funny. We need to laugh right now, you guys.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I love a good comedy show. I've been watching
The Good Place.
The Good Place.
Good Place.
With Kristen Bell, right? I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
that good?
Love it.
I'll check that out. I've actually been meaning to watch that. Me and my girlfriend really want to watch that, so I think I'll do that right after this.
Yeah, I've only watched the first season actually, but I hear it gets better, right? Like it gets even better, like as it goes along.
Yeah, it does.
I've been watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Love it.
Which is just amazing. I can't believe I hadn't watched it before. It's so just offensive, but it's great. Yeah, it's the best.
I love it. Oh man. So I actually started watching, talk about old school fun things. My boyfriend is a huge Planet of the Apes fan, huge Star Wars fan. And I had never seen the original movies. Like, honestly, of course, I just have never had a chance to, but he literally owns like every single one of them. So we had a marathon, you know, like, and it's the classic first couple movies that came out, right? So I'd only seen the recent ones.
I've seen the first one with Charlton Heston.
Yeah.
Right? There's multiple, huh? There's like a whole original series.
I think there's like 7, I want to say, but 6 or
9.
9? Oh,
9 total.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah?
It's okay.
So how would you compare it to the new ones, the Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn?
It's difficult. Like I mean, if you like, I don't know. I think I like prefer the like new ones because it's like the technology is way better and it's like it feels more real and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fascinating though how I feel like the story is better. It's better told when you watch the originals. You know, like the emphasis was more on story, whereas action and like, you know, the cool factor when you watch the newer ones, like that's kind of, you know, what you get. And the monkeys are just much more realistic and like, you know, the emotion and like the danger, you know, you get to feel it more. It's just, you're right, the different technology, right? But the storytelling, and when you think about how novel that kind of a story was for the time, right? Let's have 78 or something was the first one when it came out, right?
Yeah.
It's just different, Spence. Honestly, like when you watch, it's just a different way of telling the story, I guess, you know? But I liked it. Like I wasn't sure what to expect, to be honest, because, you know, I don't know. Sometimes I have the patience for like older films, like, you know, watch the original versions of things, and sometimes I don't. But this was awesome. Like, it was really well done.
Well, we'll check that out.
Movie history, you know? Sometimes you gotta like go back, dive deep.
Absolutely. I love watching kind of old stuff. I've been watching a lot of the Twilight Zone too, like the original Twilight Zone, which is amazing. And
so good.
Yeah, I love stuff like that.
Did you ever watch the X-Files?
I didn't. No.
David
Is that really
Duchovny
good?
and
that's basically like a Twilight Zone kind of thing, right?
Very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I asked. It gave me nightmares when I was a kid, but I loved it. I was like, this is messed up, people.
Oh, yeah.
I will never forget, like, there was this one episode of X-Files. I think I was like 10 years old. And I think in the opening sequence, I don't remember which one it is, but they're like out in a field. This truck is like driving out in the field, and it's all empty. It's dark. It's pitch black. But there's an outhouse, and he like needs to go to the bathroom. Long story short, he gets eaten by something in the damn outhouse. And I was like, for 2 years afterwards, this is going to be very embarrassing, but like I would, you know, anywhere I was, I would check to make sure that the facilities are safe.
Yeah.
I was like, just in case, because you never know. You know, my 10-year-old brain exploded like 5 times as that happened because it was terrifying. But
better safe than sorry, right?
Oh man. Oh,
yeah.
Just terrifying. Stays with you, you know, those early memories, they really stay with you.
Absolutely. It's so funny, like what scares you as a child, and like how that kind of like haunts you, like growing up, how your fears change, you know?
Yeah, it's so true. And how you realize, like, the other thing is we were talking about what we like about filmmaking. Like, I don't know about you, Spence, but nowadays, like, do you ever watch the way that a filmmaker tells a story as you're watching a movie? Do you ever have like I have almost like an outer body experience. Is going to sound weird, but like my awareness as I'm watching a movie nowadays, especially if it's a really well done movie, is I'm looking at their shot list. Like I'm looking at, you know, wow, that was a one take, you know, like sometimes you'll have this incredible, like just 10-minute one-er, you know what I mean? And you're just like, I'm watching it as, the craft. Like, how did you craft this story as much as I'm watching, the story and the acting. So
right. It's watching something, getting immersed in it and watching it from more of like an analytical standpoint, so you can get totally different value. I agree.
Yeah, it's so cool.
You should do that with the 1917, the movie.
I haven't seen that yet, actually.
I haven't either.
It's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, one take, the production design, the cinematography, like everything was amazing.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And that cleaned up at the Oscars too, right? Like.
Yeah.
Do you guys actually like going to the theaters and watching movies, or are you enjoying this digital land that we all live in now more than anything?
I do both. Like I have
I think it depends on the movie, maybe.
I have like a subscription and stuff, so like I go to movies all the time.
Yeah. You know what? I was reading something that said that when we come out on the other end of this, world-changing event that we're all living in, that there's a potential for movie theaters to not basically work the same way that they do. So what they're anticipating is that, we'll have like a 12 to 15 day screening of a new film, right? In theaters, and then it'll go straight to digital. And so when you go to see it in theaters, it's going to be free. So you can see it, you can still have the experience of, whatever exists, but then, you can go home and, the majority of people are going to pay for it and watch it at home anyway. Right. I don't know how I feel about that. I was like, I personally love going to the movie theater and like having that, the big screen, the sound, the darkness, the immersion. I love it all. Like there's just,
100%.
There's no substitute.
That'd be a real shame to lose that. I think like that's such an important part about, like I don't know, watching a movie. Like I can't even imagine that not being a thing.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, like that made me really sad. I was like, well, I really hope that's not true. But in a sense, it totally makes sense, because when you think about it, not many people, like I talk to people all the time, right? Not many people go to the theaters anymore, and I'm the only one to be like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Get out there, like have that shared, big room screening of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What's the last movie that you saw in theaters?
Oh, Parasite.
Oh yeah.
I saw Parasite.
Did you see that?
I liked that one a lot, actually. Yeah.
Yep.
I saw Marriage Story, which was great.
It was great. Oh, I watched that one at home though on Netflix. Funny enough.
Oh yeah. Well, it was out like very quickly on Netflix. I went to TIFF Bell Lightbox though to see it. I remember, and it was phenomenal.
Do you see what I mean? They're already doing like a test rollout of that, where it's like it's in theaters. It's like The Irishman, right? It's in theaters for like 2 weeks, and then boom, you can get it on Netflix next.
Yeah, they did that because it's Netflix, and they wanted at the Oscars, and to be like nominated at the Oscars, you have to have your movie at least 2 weeks at a movie theater.
Wow.
Got it.
There you go.
Interesting. So that makes sense then. So then if the screenings would be for like 2 weeks and then boom. Oh, I still don't want to think about that. Scratch that. We're not talking about this. No, I don't want that to happen. But yeah, that's good. So you saw Marriage Story in theaters. That's a good one.
It's great. It was really, really good.
Oh man, I lived that. That was depressing as shit, but I loved it.
Oh my God. Amazing. Yeah. It's just a really, really, really put me in quite a state after, I must say.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. The other movie that put me in quite a state was Joker. I actually watched Joker in theaters, and I wanted to see it in theaters because,
I saw Joker, I think 4 times in the theaters. I kept going back. I loved Joker. Yeah, I just rewatched it again at home. Yeah.
it is one of the most beautiful like stories I think I've seen on so many different levels in a very long time, you know, like, and it's so weird for me to say that because I'm like, you know, there's the people that talk about this movie are very, you know, there's two sides, right?
Yeah.
Divided, exactly. Some people are just completely outraged and some people just absolutely love it and think it's, you know, for me, it's social commentary, right? Like, more than anything, I see the value of it as social commentary done in the most beautifully artistic, stunning way that you can, you know? And I thought I was going to have a problem with the violence. I'm not a big, you know, violence fan for the sake of it, but the way that the story was told was just so progressive and just, it made sense and it was seamless and artistically beautiful on all levels, you know? So that's why I really loved it.
A lot of people are asking if you guys are Harry Potter fans, and if yes, which house are you in?
I'm a pretty big Harry Potter fan. I actually, oh my gosh, check this out. So this is just to show how much of a Harry Potter nerd I was when I was younger. I have this.
Oh, that is so great.
Cane, and you can like take out it's like a wand. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I love Harry Potter.
So cool.
And the answer would be Slytherin.
Yeah, I see that for you. That's very cool.
What about you, Anne?
I don't even know. I've watched the movies, but I don't know what house I would be. I like them all. I'm such a Gemini. I had some fans over the years suggest that I might be, what is it? Hufflepuff?
Hufflepuff?
And
Loyal.
what's the other one? Raven. I'm a combination of those, Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff. So I don't know.
Knowledgeable and loyal.
Ravenclaw? What is
Good combo.
Right, but I hear that I'd be a combo, but for me to pick one, like, it would be really tough because it's just, I appreciate each pocket for what it is, you know, like, in so many ways. Right. I love the movies. I did not read the books, but my friend Melissa is like obsessed with the books and owns every one of them. So, you know, I actually had intended before the world fell apart to start from the very beginning and read the books. And now I can't get them. No. So I could probably get them online though. So that's not to be dramatic. But I definitely want to do, like, I would love to read the books. I'm a big, like, I used to, you know, I'm very old school. Like, I like to touch like real books. I like my scripts in my hand. Like, you know, like I like to write on things. I highlight things, you know, I'm a mess. My grandfather collects books. He has a beautiful library in Romania of like perfectly pristine. Sometimes there's plastic on them. I am the exact opposite. Like, I love books, but I'll write, you know, on
dog ear them. Yeah.
I get creative with it. You know, if it makes me think of something, like I'll put it in the margin. I'll have arrows. Yeah.
Right. I love it.
Spencer, I think someone is asking, how does it feel to have worked with young Dumbledore?
I know, right? Isn't that wild?
Oh yeah.
He does look quite a bit like Jude Law. He does, like, I didn't, you know, when I watched the movie, I was like, I fully bought it. Cool, really cool. I don't know how I feel honestly about the Fantastic Beasts movies. I like them a lot, but
well, he was in the Deathly Hallows too.
Oh right, he's in Deathly Hallows. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh yeah, right. But I saw him in I saw both the new The Crimes of Grindelwald and the Fantastic Beasts, and yeah. I don't necessarily know how I feel about them yet. I'm excited to see the next one for sure. But yeah. No, they're not, like, I don't know.
We need to have a marathon. I feel like we need to Zoom it. We have a marathon. We'll figure it out, guys.
For sure.
You know, you can actually do this on Netflix. Do you know that you can, like, there's right? You can all watch the same movie at the same time, and like.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I just heard
awesome.
about that. I don't know how to do it, but isn't that extraordinary? I'm like, hell yeah, man. Yeah. Show me where to press. No, show me what button to press. And I'm good.
I feel like once this is all over, no one's gonna be leaving the house anymore.
I know.
I just downloaded this app called House Party, and it's basically like this. It's like Zoom, but it's like, yeah, it's just like a big like group chat, and you can kind of like, different people have their own parties, and you can like join their party and like hang out for a bit, and it's just like but it's all on your phone.
Really? Because my friend Melissa wants me to get that, and I was like, but it's asking for like location, like, you know, access to all these things, and I was like, oh, this is too complicated. Like, this is too much for me. But do you like it? Is it fun? She's like, we can play games. Fun.
I mean, yeah, you play the games, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's a bit more. I don't know how to describe it. It's very similar to this, but it's just a bit more like, you just hop into chat for like 10 minutes and then hop and say hi to your friend, and you can join people's conversations, and it just feels very like you're mingling, like a little cocktail mixer on your phone.
So you're seeing them, like, it's not like you're playing a game where it's like a game, right?
It's fully like a FaceTime kind of thing. Yeah. But you could play a game too. I think we did that once. There's some cool games, but yeah.
So interesting. Cards Against Humanity, apparently you can play online now with people.
Oh, really?
I am a champion Cards Against Humanity player, so love that.
I love it.
I always go for the most inappropriate answers, like every single time.
That's how you got to play it, right?
Absolutely. It goes totally against character. It's great. I love it. Yeah, what else are you guys playing? Help. What else? What's everyone doing at home right now?
I guess just reading, cooking, working out. A lot of people are working out. I see that on Instagram like all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man,
we're gonna be so buff by the end of this. I'm telling you. I'm gonna be watching everybody being buff, and I'm gonna cheer you on. But my exercise has been the equivalent of coming out on the balcony, doing a round, and then coming back in, you know. But no, I'm gonna get my butt in gear. I gotta set a good example. Sorry, guys. Buff. Yeah, what else are you doing, Spence? House party? That's great.
It's fun. A lot of cooking too.
Me too.
You know, a lot of. I've also been doing the working out. There's a lot of like classes and stuff. You can just like people are like, they'll just have like there's this app. Oh my gosh, I forget the name of the app. But yeah, just you just like work out and pass the time. Bike riding, playing Jenga.
I love Jenga. Oh man. So fun. Do you have Mega Jenga? You have like the big one or like the original?
Just the original. Yeah.
Old school, man. Just old school.
The Mega.
Oh, I love that. Aurelia, what are you doing?
You know, just I've been binge watching a lot of a lot of TV shows actually. So that's what I've been doing. That's like not productive at all, but
no, it's great. Honestly, that's pretty much exactly what you want to be doing. Get lost in a story.
It's crazy. Hello?
Oh, I can hear you. It's been going in and out a little bit. That's why I'm like.
Oh, okay. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So I don't know when it cut, so.
Oh my God, we're good. Everybody's good, right? This is great. This makes me happy. Yeah. You know that moment where you're all like, is everyone not moving or are you frozen? But no, everybody's good. Just like do one of these guys so we know that everything's okay.
Right.
No, yeah, tornado.
And someone's saying, I'm bringing Cards Against Humanity to Long May She Reign if you want to join.
Oh my God, yes.
That'd be great.
How do we do that? That sounds fantastic.
That'd be so much fun.
Oh man, so good. We're gonna be champions. We gotta have a tournament. Like we gotta have one day for the convention and then the Sunday just for Cards Against Humanity Day.
I love it.
That would be so fun. Oh my gosh. How was it? Was it difficult for you guys? Oh,
no, go ahead.
Was it difficult for you guys to pick the new date? I'm actually super curious.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
Oh no, I think she did freeze.
Yeah, no, I think she's back. Yeah.
Maria. Hello.
Yeah.
The internet. My dear friend and nemesis. Spence, you're solid. You're just solid on that side. So like, I see you. We're good. We're good. Canada strong. Yeah. Was it difficult for you guys to pick the new date?
Kind of, yeah, because like since all the events have been postponed, there are a lot of dates that are not available. But yeah, so we just asked the venue to give us all the available dates. And yeah, we checked with everyone to see if everyone was available, and we chose this date.
You are absolute heroes, honestly, because I can't imagine how much work it would have been to put into this, and then how much work it would be to coordinate all the different moving parts, right? To figure out everything else. So seriously, queens, for all of your hard work. Thank you, because it's most certainly unprecedented. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, but do you find that everyone is sort of more understanding because of that? Like my hope is that, you know, everyone is sort of open to collaborating and figuring out the new dates for things, you know, as it goes along.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's a very, very tricky situation, and it's something that kind of never happened before. So everyone's very understanding, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like since we had like multiple events, like we had one that was supposed to happen like 2 weeks ago. Right. And another one in May. So it's like, you know, trying to change everything and trying to, you know, be safe and
yeah, absolutely.
But
and it's such a
don't know when it's going to end.
Mm-hmm.
So,
so
like,
much
we don't even know, like, yeah.
It's unbelievable though, like how quickly life can change. You know what I mean? Like I still am wrapping my own brain around that. And quarantine is just now getting fun, right? Because at first it was like, what the heck are we doing with life? And now it's kind of cool. You know, everyone's doing like, I did a dance party for my place last night. I was like, I'm just going to blast some tunes. And then there were people that were doing their own dance party, like across the street. You know, I was like, this is great. Like, it's just a new normal and a bit of a transition and an adjustment. But like, it's fun to see how creative people are getting. This is the ultimate creativity that you get to bring out in life, you know, trying to keep yourself sane and busy and productive at the same time. But congrats though, honestly, it's so nice to hear that, you know, that we have things to look forward to, moving forward, you know, because that's what I'm holding on to. No matter what comes our way, you know, we have stuff to look forward to. The second half of this year is going to be on fire.
Yeah. Wow. Couldn't have predicted this situation a few months ago. Honestly, it's so wild.
No, man.
Even a few weeks ago.
Yeah. It's bizarre.
Have you guys been to the grocery store yet? I don't know what it's like in France, but I think it's probably similar. Now we have to basically line up, and there's space between each person, and then you go, you do your thing, and then, you know, you come out, try to not touch many things. But it's like a video game. Like you know, going grocery shopping is like a video game for me right now.
Yeah. It's certainly apocalyptic.
Yeah. And you gotta make it fun.
yeah, when this all started kind of kicking into gear, I was still off in LA, and we were having really like weird sleeps because our Airbnb was actually haunted. Like,
oh man,
not like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I didn't even believe in this in like ghosts, but like fully like hearing things in the night and like things moving and shit, like terrifying. So anyways, we were all really like rattled about that, and so we were like, we gotta get out of this house as much as we can, and just around that time was when it was like, no, you gotta stay in your house as much as you can.
oh my
So we're like really in this weird in between, and we were like freaking out. And then I call my mom and I'm like, I'm really scared, Mom. Like, and she's like, I think it's time you book a flight and you come home. So it was a really, really weird time to be out of the country, out of Canada. You know,
when did you get
like,
back? I'm actually, this is the first year that I didn't go for pilot season, and it was like a strategic thing because I had a whole bunch of stuff happening here in Canada that I was like, I don't need to go. But when did you get back? Because I saw you were down there, and you stayed up until like March, right? Like, was it late April? Late February, March?
It was I'm just gonna check my calendar.
Yeah, because then there was a travel ban, right? Like all of a sudden I was actually thinking about you, Spence. I was like, oh my gosh, are you gonna hang out there, with the ghosts?
Yeah, well, it was it must have been about three weeks ago now.
Right.
Yeah,
so beginning of March.
About 3 weeks ago. Yeah, like the second week of March. Maybe yeah.
Wow. So that's
Pretty
when
scary.
You got back. But
yeah.
You got back because you were worried about the situation or the ghosts? Which one was mostly like...
It was a bit of a mix, honestly. I don't know if I could have lasted another night in that house. Oh my gosh.
What part of town were you in?
Actually, I'm surprised if you go on Airbnb, like there's no one else that has reviewed that it's haunted. Because it's like doors locking that weren't locked, windows open, and like it would get ice cold there at like the witching hour, like bizarre
3 in the
activity.
morning?
Yeah, 3 a.m, just like free, like seeing your breath, like cold. Like,
did you have one of those? Did you have a paranormal investigation team come over? Did you set up cameras?
We should have. And the thing is I got back and I told this to my family, and they're like, haha, yeah, nice. But I'm like, I wouldn't. There's no way that I can explain this. Just it was fully real. It was real.
I've been haunted. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I totally get it. But it would be like if you had tried to like tape it, like in the middle of the night to like put your camera, like.
Well, weirdly enough, there's this video, this like stupid TikTok video me and my buddy made, and when we had flash on in the upstairs where the hauntings would take place, and in the video you can see orbs like moving around the screen.
Oh my god!
Like, and his mom is a medium, and she's like, yeah, those are orbs. Those are like
spirits watching you do that.
Like, it's on footage. There's footage of it. Like, it's anyways, I digress. Sorry.
Oh my god, what part of town were you in? I'm fascinated. This is so cool.
In Studio City.
Oh.
Yeah. It seemed like a pretty old house too, so like, I don't know. We were speculating. I kept hearing this voice that was like a young boy. So I don't know if that was, I don't know.
Spencer.
It's bizarre.
Take me with you.
You can't make this stuff up. I guess you could.
Oh no, I love it. I think that's amazing. And there were how many of you guys in the house? Was there anyone living on that top floor?
So we had like the side house, and then there were 3 different Airbnbs in the place, but we were like separated from the rest of the house, and it was just me and my buddy, and then my other friend came to visit just for a week, but yeah.
Wow. So nobody was living up with the with a new friend. No. Oh man.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Good for you though. That's exciting. That's awesome.
It's an experience for sure. Yeah.
You're like, it's something. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Plans. Did you tell the owners? Did you be like, hey guys, P.S. There might be something for you to look into in the future?
Well, the owner terrified us too, because like it would be like midnight, and we'd like look out our window and they'd be like gardening at like 1 a.m. and midnight, and we were like, what is on here? Like,
so was it one of those things? Did they live on the property? The streets were
like empty from the virus, and like the grocery stores were ransacked, and like they were gardening at 1 a.m. and we were just like, this is too much to handle. Yeah.
Well, maybe they were doing it because they were scared, you know. They were like, oh, at night, nobody's gonna be out at night.
Right. I'm sure there's a reason. There's gotta be, right?
Not staring at you at all with a little hose. No. Oh man.
Anyways.
That's very cool.
Someone's saying it's the ghost of Francis.
There you go. So it's friendly.
I hope so. I'm saying
I can only hope.
Well,
that would be a friendly face.
The good news is that they didn't follow you there, right? They didn't follow you home. So I think they would be friendly, right?
I hope. They
Someone
didn't.
said the owner killed someone and buried them in the middle of the night.
See, we made that joke, but was it a joke? Was it? Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's a very good. It's putting the pieces together for sure.
Yeah. No, I'm just very happy you got back in one piece. That sounds great.
Yeah, only slightly scarred mentally. Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, the analyst in me is like, I want to research that place. Like, I would love to, like, you know, look at like old newspaper.
We were looking into it a lot. Yeah, we were looking into it a lot. Yeah, and couldn't find anything. So I don't know, like nothing substantial. Just like, you know, I don't know. I don't know, but I'd love to find that article that says like old Hollywood murder, like something like spooky, like
double murder homicide.
Solve the mystery during the quarantine. Yeah. It was Old Man Smithers. Like I want to hear some wild story, like get some peace of mind or something.
Oh my God,
Someone
that would be
saying you should write a TV show based on this experience, please.
Yes. There you go.
Hashtag Ghost Adventures with Spencer.
I love it. I actually loved your little TikTok videos that you were doing. That's a good start, you know?
Thank you. Yeah. Just ridiculous, but it was fun. They were fun.
Yeah. 5 episode arc, you know?
Yeah.
I love it. Oh man, this is so cool. I'm actually fascinated by ghosts. I've never experienced anything like that before, which is why I think I'm fascinated by it. But you know, I love stuff like that. I used to watch, you know, ghost stories growing up, and
Yep. Yeah. I was always very skeptical of it, to be quite honest. It, you know, but once it's happened to you, it's different.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. I always thought it was possible, you know, like even though I've never experienced it, I was never, you know, I was never closed off to the possibility of it happening. But so cool, Spence. We need to talk. Yeah. What were you doing that attracted? No, I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh. We found like a door in like the closet. We were like, when we were packing up all our stuff to leave, we were like moving all our clothes, and like in the back of the closet there was like a weird like door that was like it seemed like it was barricaded from the other side, like a little weird door in the closet. like weird
Narnia.
stuff.
Did you not walk through the door to Narnia?
we were too afraid to tamper with it. We didn't want to disturb whatever was there.
I love it.
So let's do like last question. And someone asked, how was it working with Adelaide and Rachel?
Take it away.
I feel like I never got to work with Rachel, sadly. But we would all hang out. Like, it feels like I love everyone. They were both phenomenal because we would all just hang out afterwards, right? But in terms of working with them, I don't even know if I had a scene with Addie. I think all my scenes were Spencer and all my lovers. It was Craig, Nick, Spencer, Megan, lots of Megan and Craig. But yeah, sadly, I don't think I even got to work with, I got to watch them work, which was awesome. I love watching both of them work. They're Rach laughs. Rach is hilarious. Hilarious. Can't keep a straight face.
I got to do a fair bit of stuff with Adelaide in earlier on, like in season 3, and she's amazing. She's so good at what she does. She's so quick. She's so present, and she was so much fun to work with, and so welcoming and professional. Yeah. But it's always fun to kind of get to know the people you're working with, like outside of work. And like, you know what I mean? So when the cast would get together and we'd hang out and stuff, kind of it helps getting to them on a personal level, kind of helps you, I think, when you're on the set and you get to kind of, you forge some sort of relationship or connection, and it helps the scenes, I think. So yeah. True. But yeah, Rachel's the best. Rachel's awesome. She's a good friend, and yeah, they're both amazing people.
So true. Yeah. And very welcoming. Talk about welcoming, because like I didn't know anybody when I first started, and they like super quickly invited me out to things and like would be like, hey, the girls are doing that, the girls are doing this. It was so cool.
Yeah. It was we were fun cast, weren't we?
It was really tight. Yeah. Like, I feel very lucky that I got to do more. I was only supposed to do 3 episodes initially. I was only hired for 3, and then they just kept writing, and I was like, this is awesome. I love everyone. And then it just kept getting better.
Yeah.
I think that was really cool last year at the convention was that Nick met Toby for the first time. Because Toby left, I think, after season 3, and Nick only arrived like at the end, so they had never met each other, and that was fun.
Yeah.
That's
so funny. He's Nick's great too. I miss Nick actually. Nick is awesome. He was so it was so funny how he was like so opposite from me, and aesthetically, and just like how that worked on camera and stuff. I think it made for a very interesting kind of dynamic. And,
I loved watching you guys work. Yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah. Awesome.
Especially in the final episode, you guys, that scene where I'm all dead on the floor and you're both up in arms about it. That was such a fun scene. Oh man. But honestly though, exceptional acting chops, exceptional on both ends, but especially Spency, killed it. No. Absolutely killed it.
You. Appreciate that.
Yeah, it was really fun. I love those ensemble scenes, like for the most part where you get a few of us in one room, like the dinner scene, like that last scene there. It's just so much fun when everybody was around. Those were kind of my favorite, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. Get the group in there. They're also the longest to shoot though, right? Because you have to get all the different angles, and if you feel like you're working on I'm yelling at Nick for like 3 hours straight, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Throwing things, it was so great. The resetting of all of that was hilarious, especially around the dinner scene.
Right.
It took a long time.
Yep. Yeah.
This is so cool to think about. I haven't thought about this in such a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jeez, how long has it been?
I want to say 2 years. I want to say 2
years?
years since it aired, since the last season aired, right? Am I crazy?
Isn't it more?
I think it's more.
It might be more. Yeah, you're right. Well, it's definitely 3 years since we worked on it.
Yeah.
3, 4, man. Wow. See, I've been in quarantine for so long. I don't even know what day it is anymore, but if anybody knows, please let me know.
It was 3 years ago.
3 years
Okay,
ago.
there you go.
Amazing.
Yeah, June 2017.
Wow. Man. Time flies though. It doesn't feel like it, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't feel like so long. But
how is this the second Long May She Reign?
It is, yeah. But we had a multi-fandom convention in 2018, and we had Toby, Torrance, Adelaide, and Rose.
Right.
And then that's when we decided to do a Reign convention.
Right.
Wow, that's so cool.
Awesome.
Man.
Can't wait.
Guys, Paris. I'm so pumped. This is so great though. Thank you so much for doing this. I have to say, I thought it was such a lovely idea, you know, especially since all of us should have actually physically met today, you know, so.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen Spence in a long time. This was so good, Spency. I miss you.
Yes. Miss you too. Yeah. I can't wait to see everyone and get out there once this is all over, and I think we're all looking very much forward to it.
Absolutely. And thank you again for your amazing work, you guys. Honestly, it's so heartwarming